Right then, welcome back to the channel. This is 5 things that we learnt watching Manchester United stutter to a 1-0 win against Wolves. Now, I can't actually remember if I've just mentioned this in the review, but if I didn't, I should have done. Onana passed the test. Yes, it's one game. There's 37 to go, but Onana passed the test. The shot stopping, the command of his area, the strength, like with 2 Fs, strength. He passed the test. His distribution was good, but he looks a level up, and he looks like he offers more confidence, and he's got 1 clean sheet in the back. And that isn't one of the 5 things that we learned. I just thought, I can't remember if I said it in that video, so I'm saying it in this video. Deal with it. Okay, number 1, dysfunctional midfield. I thought it was massively imbalanced, disjointed. There was gaps defensively on the transition, which that's probably to be expected when you play somebody like a Mount in there. Mount is a pressing monster. He isn't a positional, certainly as a number 6 monster. We were quite vertical in possession. We didn't really have a lot of control. Probably missed a little bit of Eriksen, in all honesty. Didn't really have that sort of progressive passer in midfield. Luke Shaw was occupying like the left half space a little bit, and I think that might have been an attempt to do that, but he wasn't getting on the ball, and he was very square whenever he was receiving the ball or attempting to receive the ball, because he didn't really receive the ball in that area very much, which I noticed it a lot in the first half, less in the second half. I was wondering, is that something that we're trying to do here? Lamina was class. Nunes probably ran the game. I mean, Wolves have been rinsed, right? But they've still got a high level of technical proficiency in there. Something was really missing. It's hard to put your finger on it, really. Is it the focal point of a 9? Something was wrong, and it was graft in there in a big way. Number 2, physicality. I can see why United want the other Onana, because United got run over in midfield. Now, we saw this a little bit with Casemiro and Eriksen. You go, okay, it's Eriksen. And you expect that you'll get a little bit more with Mount. And to be honest, our pressing was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. But there has to be a lot more, and sometimes you need that physical presence. And I think that's one of the reasons why Scott McTominay currently looks like he's sticking around. But maybe it's why United want an AMRABAT or an Onana, or maybe even an Onana, because I think there does need to be a level of steel in there in the middle of the park, because sometimes the Premier League gets like that. And you can go, Manchester City cope just fine with Rodri. Manchester City is a lot bigger team than Manchester United on the whole. Like, they've got a lot more big players in there. We got quite a lot of small guys in there, so sometimes you just need a little bit of in the middle. Someone that'll just go through someone, smash someone, and everyone else goes, Jesus Christ. The Premier League still is like that. There's still elements of that. Yes, you've got Manchester City, that is an amazing technical football side. They're big boys in there as well, make no mistake. We did look slow and a bit laboured. Wolves were quicker, stronger and faster all the way across the pitch. No 2 ways around it. And on the counter, they caused us a lot of problems because of that. Number 3, lacklustre attack. I thought the entire front 3, I said this in the review, I thought the entire front 3 lacked in decision-making. Garnacho especially, but Anthony was not great either. There was a lack of service to Rashford, and his link-up play was pretty poor. Total lack of a focal point. So clear why we're looking at getting Højlund in as soon as possible. Just no fluidity to the play. Everything looked very deliberate. Everyone was taking too many touches. Is Garnacho better as an impact sub because he can come on and lift the tempo, because that's what he does? Is he better running at tired legs? I was chatting to Ash in the first half, and I said, Garnacho's playing like a kid. And you might go, well, he fucking is a kid. Like, yeah, I know that, but you can't be starting week in, week out if you're playing like a kid. You can come off the bench, you can impact a game, you can have that level of freedom, but you want to be a starter, you have to be a professional, and being a professional means making professional decisions and being productive. And the decision-making for me was that of a kid and not good enough. Lack of chemistry, too regressive in the passing. And this is all 3 of them, this isn't just Garnacho. The attack looks slow and painful. And does Højlund come in and totally transform that? He's going to have to. 4. Do you know what? I'm sitting here like all dead, poopy pants about it all, but it's how I feel. We won 1-0, but we didn't deserve to win. Right, transfer window. We need a centre mid. AMRABAT is vital. Someone that can get his foot on the ball, move the ball forward. There is something missing from the team, and that something could be a centre mid, could also be Howson missing. One more transfer maybe knits everything together a little bit nice. Again, as I said at the start, Onana was very, very good. Probably man of the match. Mount was okay, but he's not really going to get hold of it in a manner that maybe it requires in that area. And if he is, it's probably going to take a level of adaptation. In just under a couple of weeks, it's going to be interesting to see what we're left with to go into the season. Maybe we can get Eriksen on the pitch a little bit more against teams that are going to sit back and try and play on the counter like Wolves did. But then you run the risk of being run over because Wolves also did that. But this is the chess game. Do you go, okay, we'll go a little bit less physical but a lot more technical, and we'll actually make sure we create some chances and put them away, and we'll deal with the effect on the counter? Or do you try and match up what they're going to do and maybe become a little bit less toothless going forward? Well, Ten Hag gets paid the big bucks. I'll just talk about it on YouTube. Big decisions, man. Big decisions. Finally, SPIDER-WAN. So, in terms of outfield players, he was United's best today. And that's not saying a lot because he didn't really get involved in the build-up, playing out at all. And he really only came alive in the final third. I can't believe I'm sitting here saying that Wan-Bissaka was just effective in the final third, because that's not Wan-Bissaka's game usually, but he was. He was the one that was providing us a little bit of width. He kept it ticking. He knew when to switch it. He knew when to try and feed it forward, and he underlapped nicely, got the ball into the mixer, got himself an assist for Rafael Varane. He was probably our biggest threat going. Fuck me, this is bad. But he was our biggest threat going forward. He's took the pre-season form. He's took it into the season. He's got a chance of making that right-back spot his own. It'd be interesting if Pavard is another signing. I can't see United signing 3 players. I'm going to be real with you. I think we'll sign 1. I don't know if we'll get 3. But yeah, he competed at least. And he had a tough game, but he competed. And he can hold his head high in that changing room, and there are not many of them who can. Spurs is going to be a different prospect. Spurs are going to hold a lot more of the ball. Can we elicit a level of control against a team that's going to want 65% possession? It's away from home. Have we learnt the lesson from last year where we were so poor? Shitloads going into this game. Absolutely shitloads going into it. We'll find out on Saturday, won't we? Take it easy. There is another video coming out today. Tune in for that. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.